most people think that they need to do more in order to make more. Make more listings, drive more traffic, do more marketing, etc. But a lot of the time, those efforts don't result in making many sales. What if there was a way to make more money and do less? There is. And I'm gonna show you how to do that in this video. If you already have an Etsy shop that has made sales, you could be sitting on a gold mine, and this video might be the thing that helps you finally scale without wanting to pull your hair out. Let's get into it. The first thing I want you to do is to go to your Etsy stats and figure out which are your best sellers. So which listings are bringing in the most revenue. We want to do this because we're going to be using the 80-20 rule. That means 20% of your efforts are causing 80% of your results. And it's most likely true for your Etsy shop as well. So we want to find those listings that are bringing in the most revenue, and we're going to double down on those. Actually, in 1997, when Steve Jobs joined Apple again, what he did was he cut all the products that weren't working and doubled down on the ones that were. And that is largely why Apple is the company it is today. So with that being said, let's employ this strategy for our own Etsy shop. And there are going to be 3 things that I teach you to help you employ the double down on what's working strategy. Now, if you did not find product market fit yet, which means you don't have a listing that's selling a couple times a month, then you might want to join Passive Product Payday. Basically, what it's going to do is help you evaluate yourself and evaluate the market, and then figure out which product is going to be the best for you to create and sell. And then I'm going to help you get over that analysis paralysis and over the fear of actually launching your shop. It's a 3-day challenge, and it's going to change the game for you if you're just getting started. But if you do have a listing or a few listings that are selling multiple times every month, then let's get into the first strategy that you're going to use in order to double down, which is to improve. Now, when someone sees that a listing is selling, they think, okay, I need more like this, instead of actually taking what's already working and improving it. Because currently, if the sales have slowed down on that product, or if you just can't figure out a way to make more sales on that product, it could have reached its demand threshold. It's a term that I made up, but hear me out. Basically, you've maxed out your conversion rate on that product. And now it's all about increasing the desirability of that product, and you can do that by making small improvements. The reason why I think people don't do this is because they don't realize how little tiny improvements can really equal to big results. My thank you card template that I was selling a couple times a month at $6, I listened to my customers' feedback, and I added a Poshmark icon, made it so they can put their logo on there, and I also made it compatible for Canva, not just Adobe. I got this information directly from my customers and shopper inquiries. And implementing these things only took, I don't know, a couple hours or so. But what it did was it opened up all of those doors to the people who wanted Canva templates, to the people who had Poshmark shop, not just Etsy shops, and people who already had a logo that wanted to brand their thank you cards. And if we think about probability, if 2 or 3 people are asking you for something in your Etsy messages, there are so many more people that are not asking you. They're just jumping to a competitor and buying from them. So taking what shoppers and customers are saying seriously and implementing those things will make a huge difference. The next strategy you want to employ is expand. So we're not just going to create random products, but rather we're going to take our winning products, and it's going to be the center of our ecosystem, let's say. So what you want to do is you want to branch off from that main product that's selling well and think, what else do people need that are buying this product? What do they need before they get this product? What might they need after this product? Or what would they want to buy with this product? And what that does is it increases your repeat customers, because if someone bought that product and there's a complementary product, they're going to want to come back and purchase it. This has happened to me. Or new customers are going to buy them together. And you can even bundle these if both are selling well separately. This increases your average price per order, which increases your revenue. So how do you know what other products to sell? You can go to competitor shops that have a lot of different listings, a variety of products, and you can go to the review section and sort by newest. Then you're going to take account of the repeating products that are being purchased. In my case, logos were being purchased, business cards were being purchased, and some other things. So I was writing down which ones were repeating, but which ones seemed doable. You do want to obviously prioritize the ones that are doable for you. And so you're going to take note of what's selling the best, and that's how you can determine which you should work on next. Now, the third way we're going to double down on what's working is to innovate. Now, innovate is one of my favorite ways because, yes, the market on Etsy is saturated, but it's saturated with generic products and not really standout products. So innovating is so great because you're taking what's already working and you're adding a twist in order to charge premium prices. This is how you level up so you're not really competing anymore with your competitors. For example, that thank you card that I talked about earlier, where I was charging $6 and then I increased it to $8 because of my improvements, and then it was selling daily. Well, once I innovated and I made it a creative kit, I was able to charge $14, and now this thing wasn't just selling daily, it was selling multiple times a day. And I was making over $1,000 per month on one listing, a thank you card template. So this is the power of innovating. But I didn't just think of the idea, then I also validated it, and I sent out a product validation survey to past customers, asked them a variety of questions to make sure that this is something that they would want. And they said it was. So I created it and it was a success. Now this product, this thank you card kit, was nothing like anything on the market already. But I already knew that thank you cards were in demand because mine was selling daily, other people were selling them well. So people were still searching for thank you card templates. Mine would pop up and it was unique and interesting and worth the $14 apparently, so it succeeded. Now, you don't need to choose something that you have proof of selling in your own shop yet. You can look at other people. So for example, I saw that listing video templates were selling well, but they looked generic and they weren't really for a particular type of product. So what I did was I created a video listing template, but for Canva template sellers specifically. I combined my editing skills in Premiere Pro with a Canva template and people really loved it, and it is one of my best sellers. If you are in the stage of trying to expand your shop and grow your revenue in a way that feels good to you, then you might want to check out the Blow Up Blueprint waitlist. If you've been confused on how to actually scale your shop, we're going to show you how to get there without creating product after product. And if you are new to this and you don't have any listings that are selling or selling consistently, then make sure you join Passive Product Pay Date. It's gonna help you so much get clear on what you should be selling that's best for you, that has market fit, and then help you get over that analysis paralysis or that hump, that fear of you starting your shop. One of my best sellers that used to sell daily is not really selling well, and I'm going to do the Innovate strategy. And I'm actually gonna document it. I'm gonna take you through the whole process of how I do it and my results. So if you're interested in that, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Good luck scaling your Etsy shop, and I'll see you in the next one.